right? So I think lately Silver's been playing goat control, and I think Siwski. I don't know.
Siwski plays goat control.
I think Siwski also mainly uses goat control. I mean, there's like, I think for a while he was using Angel Chaos, but like, I'm the only one you can win with Angel Chaos, so
Yeah, sure.
That's usually how it goes. But yeah, so far this play seems fine. Set Torrential, say go. I mean, unless you want to get like really next level and do like set tribe, set heavy, next turn flip heavy, tribute tribe for Air Knight. But like obviously that's pretty high risk.
A lot of back and forth, like draw go, until Siwski gets a merchant and sets it. Nobleman a cross out.
Yeah, getting our guy crossed out is no big deal, obviously. And I guess now, you know, we potentially get to see, okay, so Silver's also playing Merc, which indicates it's probably a Goat Mirror. Or like
Another
Silver's
one.
using some sort of like Chaos Brew. So I like just going Breaker. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, Breaker's probably fine. We kind of wanted summon Breaker so we contribute Air Knight. And then yeah, I would cross out here.
Yeah, I guess he was thinking because like, do I play around cross out and get rid of the breaker?
So more than likely, this is just goat control with guards and spy, which I actually think is a pretty good deck.
Max played spy.
You did well.
Like nothing jumps out at me. At all so far. I mean, it's still early, but
right, yeah, nothing's really jumped at me either. So did he have? What did he have set? Did he have torrential set?
He had torrential set, so he's thinking about torrentialing when he summoned breaker, just so that I guess he was playing around.
No, I meant what's Siwski's set?
Oh, Siwski has torrential set.
Yeah, I would torrential the Tsukiyomi, or at least heavily consider it. Right, because our breaker's gonna die either way, so basically it's a 1-for-1 trade if we torrential.
That's right.
But like, given how powerful Tsukiyomi is, I feel like it could be worth it. I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's just something that you could consider, right? It's not
right.
like clearly right or clearly wrong.
You got to put them on something, and then you got to look at your hand and be like, okay, what can I like if I use torrential here?
The problem is if we use the torrential on the Tsukiyomi, then we don't have torrential for a threat later.
Right.
That's like the downside. So yeah, I guess Siwski's setting Tsukiyomi. If we do that, I probably like setting Call too, because the plan is probably tribute for Air Knight, and then
right,
like,
that's what I'm looking
Air
at.
Knight probably gets Staku'd, and then we call it.
Draws another piece of power in Graceful Charity.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just tributing for Air Knight here. Like, we probably bait a battle trap, but it's fine because we have pre and call. Yeah, see, if we set call here, we just get to call it back, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, here
like,
comes.
We knew we were gonna do this play, right? Like, we knew we were gonna do this play, so why didn't we just set call last turn?
It gets a MST,
and then
but
just
now
FYI, you know, there's also like no reason to end phase the call. We can just draw and see
what'll happen. And if you draw an MSTs,
really well. Yeah, it happens to work out really well.
Yeah.
You just have premature anyways. So yeah, I guess let's see what we draw off the Air Knight. Ideally, we draw a book. That would be pretty sick.
Draws Magician of Faith, which is another good one.
Yeah, so now our opponent has to deal with Air Knight and Faith. I mean, we could set MST. Wow. So it's like, do you want to play around Heavy Storm or do you want to play around Snatch, right? It's like a 50-50.
Yeah.
Obviously here
He gets
we got
right.
lucky because our opponent had snatch and not heavy. I mean, I guess we can assume that if our opponent had heavy, maybe he wouldn't have set MST. So our opponent is probably slightly more likely to have snatch than heavy.
Faith just should get back pot. Maybe it gets back premature. I think it should just get back pot.
Yeah, it seems like, yeah, I think pot's a pretty clear pick. And then we probably just get to go pot heavy. Yeah, I feel like Siwski's pretty far ahead here. Because keep in mind, again, like, life points, we also get to deal at least 18.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see anything that I would have changed, really.
Well, I mean, the main
Nothing
thing is
major.
that I think we could have set the call a turn earlier. I think that's... Like, it happened to work out fine.
Right.
But, like, we knew we were going to call, so let's just set it a turn earlier.
Well, now Siwski's hand is just very reactive.
Yeah, this is not a very good hand. I mean, I guess we can draw, like, cross out for our 6th, and then that would help.
I kind of read that
Yeah,
when
I
he
agree with setting Saku here. Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I sort of read that when
And
he
you know
set.
what sucks about this Morphing Jar? Like, no one's probably... What sucks about this Morphing Jar is it made us discard 2 books. And a heavy, right?
Right.
Because, like, what would be sick is if we could, like, say, if we drew heavy and book off of the Morphing Jar, then, like, we can just heavy book and then reset the game again.
Right.
Because, like, that's what makes Morphing Jar such a risky card, is that, yeah, you can Morphing Jar for, like, a +3 or whatever this is. And then your opponent can just book and Morphing Jar you again. But now both our books are gone, so that's not very likely. But we can still draw one of our 2 Tsukiyomis.
He doesn't even want to play this game.
I mean, we don't need to concede there.
We don't. I mean,
I've come back from much worse spots than that.
I would not have conceded. I would have played it out.
Yeah.
So that's a big disagreement, Siwski.
Yeah, we really don't need to.
Like, especially because it's like, okay, yeah, you got rid of the heavy storm there, whatever, but like, on average, are those 2 cards that he set off of the like before the Morphing Jar, are they going to be cards that are actually like real? Most likely, maybe one of them could be.
Like,
I would.
One of them could be like
Yeah.
a duo or something, and then you just Morphing Jar duo your opponent.
Right, but we didn't even get to see that.
Like, if one of the 5 cards we draw off the Morphing Jar is Tsukiyomi, like, we can easily get back in the game.
Right.
Like, that's the ACP special, where your opponent Morphing Jars you and you just reset
Tsukiyomi
it with
attack.
one of your 3 books or Tsukiyomi, and then you just Morphing Jar them again. Well, we have Serpent, Meta, Saku, Tsukiyomi.
That's a better hand than last time.
Yeah, and I agree with setting goats here. Like, we don't want to get Saku breakered or something. And yeah, I definitely want a Sinister meta here. I mean, unfortunately, we probably have to set the Saku book and then potentially get 2 for 1 heavy stormed. Like, turn 1, we could have just done nothing. That would have been an option too. You know what I mean? Just draw a 6 pass.
I think setting Scapegoat just goats something. He didn't flip it up, so I don't know what it is. I mean, setting Scapegoat just tries to bait like
just
something.
over it, right?
It doesn't work. You have to it has to be like revealed before.
Yeah. All right, well,
we'll find out
at some point.
Nobleman of Extermination.
Oh yeah, Silver. I mean, like H says, but like Silver just always sides this card in for no reason. Because, like, you know, now we just both have to banish all our Sakus. Like, Silver actually lost a game the other day because, like, he nobleman of extermination his opponent's torrential, and then had to banish his own torrential. So his opponent just goes, "Oh well, now I know he doesn't have torrential. Kill you." You know what I
Goodbye.
mean? Like,
Yeah, this is not the deck that you want to be siding this card in.
I mean, the problem with nobleman is like it's just not like a very good card in general. Like, other than against like burn maybe. Like, that's just like the only thing where I would maybe want to side in nobleman of extermination is like, oh, you
If
like.
you're playing a more aggressive deck, it might be a little it's okay
Well,
because
it, against most decks, it's just a worse Dust Tornado.
Right,
Like, particularly
right.
the Goat Mirror. Like, it's just clearly worse than Dust Tornado. In
oh, I don't think like I ever want this in goats. Like I think I would want it in maybe like an aggressive like beatdown style strategy. I don't
What are you trying to nobleman so badly? You know what I mean?
like.
Like, there's
I know.
I guess.
That's the
Like,
problem is that if like if I'm hitting like something that's good, like a torrential or a mirror force, and I don't already have that card set or like in my hand,
well,
then
either
I'm
way,
losing
yeah,
out as well.
yeah, no, because if you nobleman their mirror force and you don't banish your mirror force, now they know.
Right.
Oh, okay, he has mirror force set. But if you do banish your mirror force, then they go, oh, well, now I know he doesn't have mirror force set.
Right.
So, like, regardless of which one you're doing, like, you're still just giving your opponent free information.
But if
So
you're
let's stop
if you're
talking Silver and move on with the match.
tax here.
Yeah, I mean, card advantage is still even. Main phase 2 graceful, that's pretty odd. Yeah, I mean, again, we've talked about this before a lot, but you usually want a graceful in your main phase 1 because then whatever you draw could change the game, right? Because imagine, say,
You
for
can change your
example,
line.
imagine if the graceful drew him into Heavy Storm, right? How sick would that be? You know what I mean? Then you get to save the nobleman of extermination, get a 2-for-1 Heavy Storm, and then just do the same play, except now you're up a card.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I would just pass here. We don't really need to commit anything. There's nothing to be gained from committing Sinister. Yeah, I don't like this. And yeah, okay, we're chaining a Scapegoat, which is probably what I would do too. But yeah, I don't like setting Sinister here because it's risk reward, right? Risk,
Yeah.
get cross-outed. Reward, nothing basically.
and if Silver decides not to attack, then you're goat
I mean, I
locked.
guess the only possible reward is that like maybe our opponent summons Mystic Swordsman level 2, and we get to like bait it out with Sinister. But that's like just super specific.
Watch him do that.
I mean, I guess if our opponent plays like Blade Knight or Mystic Swordsman level 2, then it's just like, well, you got me, I guess. Because like Silver might be like siding into some sort of aggro deck for some reason. And like, look, now we're goat locked here too, which is just even worse.
Right. I mean, Sinister.
I mean, I guess like having Ring can make us un-goat lock ourselves.
But how good is like rigging your own Sinister, or even your own goat
Yeah,
token?
I mean, it depends. Like, if Siwski's on like the 3 Air Knight build, then setting Sinister is a little better because then there's like a 10% chance to draw Air Knight every turn instead of like, you know, it's a 6% chance or whatever. But again, that's like, you know, I don't think he's. This is a really odd game.
Yeah, I don't really
cross-outed our opponent's Sinister. Like, why do people set?
I don't know.
I don't think people understand how good Sinister is.
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Like, again, like it's risk reward, right? Like, what are you gaining? I mean, maybe Silver has Air Knight in his hand. It kind of looks like he does because he's like calling this Takochi. Here, he probably either has Tsukiyomi or Air Knight.
We knew he had the Tsukiyomi, but
Yeah. I almost feel like Silver can actually just not attack here. You know what I mean? Like, just because based on Siwski's play, it's pretty obvious that he doesn't have anything.
right.
So yeah, I think Silver's play is like pretty good here, right? You just say, yep, I'm just gonna do nothing for a while. You know, eventually Silver can draw like a Tribe or an Azura.
Or now, if he finally sets one, he can summon his Air Knight.
Yeah, I mean, we do have 3 metas and Air Knight in our deck, but you gotta actually draw those cards. And, like, we know our opponent has Tsukiyomi, obviously, and now he just has free reign to Tsukiyomi Lupus. Yeah, this is... I feel like the game is basically over at this point. I mean, thankfully, like, our opponent just let his Sinister get banished, so, like, this isn't as sick as it could be. But it's still pretty sick. Like, seriously, guys, whoever's watching this, don't let your Sinister Serpent just get banished for no reason. It's really not good.
Here comes Air Knight after the Graceful.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I mean, okay, we're un-goat locked, I guess, but we're still pretty far behind.
Yeah, we're still pretty dead. Yeah, we're still pretty dead.
Siwski probably attacked in the wrong order here.
That was funny.
Tsukiyomi attacked the goat first.
So, if what was weird, what Silver did here is he sets Pot of Greed because he's trying to play around Jar, right? But he attacks with Air Knight into the thing that could be the Jar. So, like, he loses the card off of Air Knight regardless if he does that. So he should have just, if he thought it was a Jar, he should have just attacked it with Tsukiyomi.
Well, maybe it's like he's kind of like hedging his bets. Like, I don't think it's a Jar, but it could be. So, you know what I mean?
I get you there,
it's like,
but...
oh, I'm going to set around this Pot of Greed to play around, like, the 2% chance that it's a Jar. But, like, I'm going to have Air Knight attack for, like, the 98% that it's not. I don't know.
I still think, like, you kill whatever is set.
I mean, you're right. You technically do more damage by having Air Knight attack a goat anyway.
Especially,
right?
How could he ever make...
You do 250 more damage.
How could you ever make the read that it's a Jar in the first place because it's been set for several turns? Like, I mean, maybe if it's somebody, like, who might be on another level, where they're like, I'm just not going to flip this Jar. But I wouldn't have made that read.
It's not a Jar there, I think. Let's just move on.
Now he just has Balter.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Like, now you can't get heavied, now you can't get meta'd. I mean, Tsukiyomi, Faith, Balter is, like, a pretty strong lock. But it's like, what do we even do here, right? I mean, I guess you can go DD Warrior Lady, attack the Balter, and then if your opponent doesn't do anything, you book it. I mean, or you could attack to set Faith, and then, like, set books. Either one is probably fine. And then I feel like you kind of have to book here. Yeah, I would have booked.
Same.
Because we have 2 books, right? You do 1 book to save the DD Warrior Lady, and then the second book to use Balter.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
He has BLS, so I think he can just let it.
Oh, is that the light that he needed? Okay, JK. Alright, sorry. I forgot that he had a dark in his grave.
Yeah, I forgot he had a dark in his grave, too.
Alright. And then, yeah, I agree with banishing the face down. Yeah, I mean, this BLS could take over the game, just because we have double book. Alright, one gets MST'd, but we still have another one. Yeah, we have to book, unfortunately. And then we hope that we don't just get knocked.
Well...
God damn it. It's still a good effort. But yeah, it's now that our BLS is banished, it's not looking too good for our hero. I mean, we can still just draw a meta, right? Because we can Tsukiyomi the Bolter and then meta a Goat. Like, that's still a pretty solid play. And yeah, I agree with this. Just Tsukiyomi, attack whatever the set is. Maybe it's like Takochi, yeah, or Merchant, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, now we know our opponent is Book.
He might be trying to torrential here when he flips up the Bolter.
I would just wait. Because the reason why you wait is, like, if your
When he
opponent
commits
just
another
flips
card,
up
yeah.
Bolter, attacks a Goat token, and then sets a monster and passes, then he just gets to go Sinister Torrential, kill both.
Right. I think that's...
So yeah, there's really no reason to Torrential here yet. Yeah, you wait for your opponent to commit the second monster, and then you go Sinister Torrential. Or you could do this. Yeah, this play could work too, except it's a fucking Gravekeeper spy.
And he's got no targets.
So yeah, I mean, I guess now when your opponent flips up the Bolter, you... Well, I mean... Yeah, you could go either way. I would probably, just because we're so far behind in this game, I feel like we don't Torrential yet. Well, if he turns the Spy to attack mode and flips Bolter, then maybe you do. I don't know. It's... Like I said, it's a pretty tough spot here for Siwski, because his BLS is banished. He's down to, you know, 3,000 life points. Like, even though, like, you might say, oh, well, like, they both have the same number of cards, it's an even game. I mean, it's not really an even game, though.
It's not at all, I don't think.
And it's like, here you could even consider just, like, setting Tsukiyomi to block hits. I don't know what's in our grave. If we have a good spell in our grave, then set Faith.
It's a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, I don't know what, like, setting Merchant accomplishes.
Maybe looking for some piece of power. I don't know, put something in the graveyard for later.
Yeah, I mean, we could try to find the second meta. Or, you know, like a Pot of Greed or, you know, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if we set Tsukiyomi here, we would take 1,000, which would be kind of nice. Yeah, this is pretty tough here, right? Because we can pretty sure our Air Knife, and now we're just dead to Ring, which I don't think Silver's used yet.
No, they have not.
And even if he doesn't have Ring, if our Air Knight just, I don't know, gets Saku'd or something, like, we're just still not in a very good spot. Because now we've, like, paid 800 to do a 1-for-1. Like, with 2 back row set, I'm generally going to assume that at least one can stop Air Knight,
Well,
right?
we knew that they had the book from the Merchant. That Silver had the book, so...
Yeah, so, like, I would have just, like, set Tsukiyomi, set Dust, and just saved the pre. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, Tsukiyomi blocks any incoming hits, and then you just get to end phase Dust.
And if you hit, like... If you hit something unknown...
Luckily, his duo is, like, pretty shitty for our opponent. I mean, I guess we hope that he doesn't discard Snatch. Oh. I mean, it didn't really matter what got discarded. None of the cards in our hand were very good anyways.
Ooh, that's a play.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, then now you can just, like, search Takochi and just summon Takochi, attack for game.
Probably only plays 1 Takochi.
Oh. I mean, you could search for another random card, like DD Warrior Lady or something. You know what I'm saying? Just search for a random thing with 1,200 attack. Or you could just set Faith, and then it's like, how do you lose?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's so lucky.
Yeah.
That is, like, just so darn lucky that you just draw Abyss Soldier. Like, Abyss Soldier is, like, literally one of your best possible draws.
So I put the card in the deck.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. So yeah, he's gonna bounce attack. But again, you know, we could have, like, Siwski could just have, like, 1,000 more life points here. And I feel like having that 1,000 more would make this game like a lot more winnable. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, here we just have to set Sinister, I think. I mean, we could set Sinister or set Tsukiyomi.
He finally does your advice and set the Tsukiyomi.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think it might be too late for that to help, though. See, like... It's like we... Here, I would have set Sinister, because we probably knew our opponent was just going to set the Faith anyways, right? Like,
Exactly.
if we do the play where you set Sinister, now we just have a Tsukiyomi in our hand for later. I mean, it might not matter, to be honest.
Thinking.
Like, having a Tsukiyomi, like, probably won't make the difference as far as, like, who wins or loses this game, but having that extra 1,000 life points might. Okay, so yeah, we have to set Call. Fortunately, we can't really meta for Bolter here. I mean, we could, but... you know, it wouldn't really do anything.
No.
Yeah, and then we call something.
Calling the other Air Knight seems pretty good.
Yeah. Is game over now? This was a pretty weird game. Oh, does he just have BLS? Or is like, or is Siwski
This
getting
is
trolled
so
here?
weird. Like,
Oh, he's just getting trolled. Yeah, this was a pretty strange game.
he was just losing the whole time until he just won the game. Right? Like... Like, Silver was ahead that entire game, and then it just got to a point where it was like, oh, I got this top deck here, this top deck here.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see that duel from Silver's side, actually.
Yeah.
Because, like, we don't really know for sure, but I suspect that Silver probably could have done some different stuff.
I'm just trying to look here. Because was there a way to, like, for him to finish the game out when he didn't have the thing set? Because he didn't have call set for a little bit, and he did that play where he flipped, he, like, got Sangan, or used Sangan to get... he's meted his own Sangan to torrential the Wicked Knight. And he just didn't have a card that was more than 12, because he got the other Tsukiyomi. That's...
Right, yeah, so...
Or no, he
Siwski
got
was
the
at
Fate.
how much? He was at 1250,
He's
right?
at 1250, so he didn't have anything that was more than... that was like 13
well, no, he
or
had
higher.
DD Warrior Lady, right?
I don't think he did. I don't think he played it.
You think he just doesn't play DD Warrior Lady?
I think so. I think he just plays Spy Engine and Deco. And then the GOAT stuff.
But only one deco?
Only one Deco.
Well, I guess... Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll never know.
Uh-huh.
So, hold on. Did Silver... Oh, wow. I didn't realize that Silver only had 2 cards left in his deck.
No,
Or
he
no,
just
he
drew a bunch.
at the end.
Yeah, he just drew a bunch at the end there.
He drew, like, 5 at the end. Okay, so he had, like,
Right.
7 cards left.
Right.
It's been kind of quiet today, like, in the Discord and, like, in the stream chat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. You want to just see if there's some duels to spectate now?
We can try that, yeah. This way we're
Yeah.
on the same page.